I think his son's girlfriend. Oh, he a sick motherfucker.
The truth is the light.
Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him?
I see him.
Grown folks do.
Okay, we'll
Now,
take that.
kids look up the NBA young boy Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're not looking at Diddy. Oh, me and Diddy his son's girlfriend. Come on, homie. I think his son's girlfriend. Oh, he a sick motherfucker. Oh, but when you get that kind of money, you go be sick. You ain't got no choice but to be. You got too much money. Your fantasies and your imagination, homie, will make you sick with that kind of money. And you're not a God-centered moral compass kind of guy. You your friend, your son's girlfriend. You the same girl that your son done. Homie, that's a sick. You sick. But me and you couldn't get away with that. Me and you couldn't. That's why the Bible describes evil people being in high places like Puff Daddy. Evil don't exist down here. It exists up here.
How far could this all go? Just days after federal agents raided Diddy's homes and reports surfaced that he had left the country, rapper 50 Cent suggested that Jay-Z could be next on the authorities' radar. Now, whether this is speculation or based on something more concrete remains unclear. But according to some observers, there may be elements of truth worth examining. So let's break down what we know so far.
No, we didn't. Aaliyah was a little young. That's why I always laugh at, we all know what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah and how he had her at a young age. But the person that get mixed, a person that gets neglected, and I know in the 90s was different. A lot of older guys mess with girls that were under 17 years of age. And, now we're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone younger. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I did, everybody, all of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly.
Here's why people are talking. Diddy and Jay-Z have shared a long-standing relationship in the music industry, often described as one built on mutual respect and trust. However, rumors suggest their connection may be more complex than it appears. Sources claim Jay-Z was deeply unsettled by the raid on Diddy's properties, reportedly fearing that it could expose personal matters of his own. Given Jay-Z's carefully maintained image of power, success, and control, that possibility has raised eyebrows.
But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Yeah, remember Fox Brown and Jay. Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell, I was like, woo, that him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot that it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Link St. Louis ticks. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so all of these guys and the underage young ladies were running rapid in the 90s.
While it remains unknown what, if anything, these two moguls may be connected through, history shows that fear of exposure can affect anyone, regardless of status. Jay-Z's rise from Brooklyn to global superstardom, marked by chart-topping hits and major business ventures, has secured his place as an industry titan. But the question remains, would that be enough protection? Following the raids on Diddy's Miami and Los Angeles homes, 50 Cent intensified his online trolling, publicly questioning Jay-Z's whereabouts during the chaos. In one post, he edited Jay-Z's face onto a missing person milk carton with the caption, "Anybody seen Jay-Z?" accompanied by laughing emojis. In another post, 50 Cent shared an old photo of Jay-Z waving near a private jet, jokingly calling it his last reported sighting. While the image was clearly dated, accuracy wasn't the point. Provocation was. This continues 50 Cent's long-running pattern of mocking Diddy amid the growing controversy. Earlier this week, he even shared a deepfake video featuring Donald Trump referencing Diddy, with mentions of Meek Mill, an apparent nod to anonymous court filings. All of this followed Homeland Security searches of Diddy's properties as part of a broader investigation into alleged sex trafficking. During the Los Angeles raid, Diddy's sons were reportedly detained briefly while authorities searched for electronic devices that could be relevant to the case. According to legal analysts, multiple lawsuits filed in recent months appear to have triggered this escalation, starting with a complaint filed by Cassie in November.
I can't see NYPD not giving Puff a ballistics test where they swab his hands and swab his clothes and see that how close he was, or did he shoot the weapons? Because that's what they usually do when there's a shooting and they catch the people right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Puff was caught about 10, 15 minutes after the shooting in the car in a chase. So if he had shot a gun, then they should have done a ballistic test. If she said Puff shot her like she said that night, it should have been a ballistic test done on him that would have proved that he was in the vicinity or he shot a weapon, because the gunpowder would have been on his clothes and would have been on his hands.
Although that lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, the accusations did not disappear. Instead, they continued to surface, placing increasing pressure on Diddy's public image, finances, and career.
Listen, he has to do that because no company wants to do business with somebody who is being accused, have allegations against them for sexual misconduct and deviant behavior. Nobody wants to do business with that. All the shareholders, it ain't nothing that he's giving up. They like, yo, listen, give me that. They said, they did a Diddy. Take that. You understand? They're going to take that from him. The shareholders is going to say, yo, listen to me. We all going to pull out. No Diddy. But we all going to pull out our shares and everything if you don't give up what you have in the company. I seen that look in his face. You understand? When he was with the same gang and Mike Owens, aka Mike Cock, everybody can tell it. D. Ferg did a collection for him because he didn't know how he was going to pay his rent, and he didn't know how he was going to pay his rent, child support, and his car note, because he had one of those drop top cabarets, Volkswagens. So Mike gave $5,000. I wasn't giving him nothing. I'm just telling you right now. D was just collecting money. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, we got to make sure, because he want to kill himself. He going to kill himself. Diddy had that pace and he had that look in his face that he know something may be wrong, or they may have something on him. Because they took things out of there. We may not have seen what they took, but they had bags and boxes of stuff that they took out of there. So he knows, he's getting a play-by-play of what's going on. Like, everybody, I get all kind of hate mail, IGs, talking about that I'm trying to take a black man down. No. I went through every step you're supposed to go through when you got a problem, you got a situation, you got an issue with a man. You understand? I get in contact with him. Went to mutual friends. Let's sit down and talk. What you did to Wolf's mother wasn't right, bro. You don't talk to her like that. If Wolf was alive, he'd take your head off. You understand? Try to talk to him. People, when they start getting in this power, certain positions, have certain amount of money, they don't look back. Some of them don't look back and don't think they have to come back to the people that help them get to those positions. You understand? I don't care what nobody say. You understand? If somebody helps you and use their ability and their talents to help you get in position and get to certain places and do certain things, you come back. And you make sure things is all right. You don't disrespect people's mothers. You don't disrespect your friends that took their money to make sure you was all right when you was wrong, when you was messed up. You don't do that, brother. So by him doing the things that he did and taking the avenue that he took, he's suffering the consequence, and I don't feel bad for him at all. Because people was trying to talk to him. People was trying to tell him.
Since then, additional lawsuits have emerged. One woman has accused Diddy and former Bad Boy executive Harve Pierre of assault dating back to 2003, when she was 17. More recently, music producer Lil Rod filed a lawsuit alleging sexual misconduct related to work on Diddy's 2023 album, The Love Album, Off the Grid. Attorneys representing both accusers publicly praised the federal raids, stating they believe accountability is finally catching up to the mogul.
It's not looking that great. Right now, I know that he has high-powered attorneys, and with all these allegations that are coming out against him and against other people, a lot of people are starting to be very nervous about what's going on. That accelerated things. I mean, his settlement with her and other criminal acts that she alleged have happened, and then other people started coming forward, so it's like a house of cards. Yeah. There are a lot of things that are coming out right now, and what's going to happen is that the government's going to go through all of these things that they have uncovered, and they're going to see if there's any criminality. If any charges are to be brought, they will bring them later.
As these developments unfolded, public skepticism grew, especially after reports showed Diddy's private jet traveling internationally. Meanwhile, several public figures have spoken out, including comedian Cat Williams, who has openly criticized Diddy in recent interviews. Still, no one has been more persistent than 50 Cent, who for years has accused Diddy of hidden misconduct. While conspiracy theories continue to circulate online, some previously verified reports have fueled ongoing concern and debate.
What it suggests to me is that the allegations that Rodney Jones Jr. had in his civil suit are something of a playbook for law enforcement. Because in that lawsuit, unlike the other four before that, including Cassandra Ventura, or otherwise known as Cassie, Rodney Jones says that not only does he have video on his phone, but also that Sean Combs supposedly has surveillance and recording videos in his home that could corroborate some of his allegations. So it seems like law enforcement took that information as going the next mile. Now, in terms of when we might see it, the question may be never. The question may be during the indictment. It all depends on what's on those recordings and how law enforcement decides to proceed going forward. First and foremost, I'll say this so Legals and Standards doesn't get mad with me. There seems to be no connection yet. Yeah. But if you look at the civil lawsuit, the way that Rodney Jones has photographs of Brendan Paul, the Syracuse basketball player that somehow has a connection to Sean Combs. Now he's getting arrested supposedly on his way to Sean Combs' aircraft or whatever it may be. This seems like it could be a bad situation for both Paul and maybe even Sean Combs. Like practice in the Southern District of New York. They do not play around. And what could happen here is if there is a connection between Paul and Sean Combs, they could be leaning on Paul now to try to get more information about if there is in fact an actual connection, trying to get that connective tissue between Rodney Jones's allegations in his civil suit, calling him a why he has on him, and what this connection is with Sean Combs. And if there's a connection, he could be cutting a deal sooner rather than later, or this could be completely separate.
Interestingly, many of the loudest critics come from the fringes of the entertainment industry, people who claim they saw warning signs long ago. Figures like Cat Williams, Jaguar Wright, Gene Deal, and 50 Cent have repeatedly called out what they describe as troubling behavior among powerful industry insiders.
Kim is dead. Heavy D. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him?
Despite all the speculation, Jay-Z has not publicly responded to any of these claims. If that changes, we'll be sure to update you. What's clear is that the hip-hop industry is undergoing a major reckoning, one that could reshape its power structure entirely. So stay ready. Grab your popcorn and soda. That's all for today. Share your thoughts in the comments, and for more updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.